In this video, let's learn how to customize the context menus for the Bryntum Scheduler. Here we have a web application that uses the Bryntum Scheduler component for a super fast yet robust scheduling UI. In it, there are 4 different context menus that we can customize. There is the time axis header menu, which appears when you right-click on the time axis header at the top. There is the schedule menu that appears when you right-click any of the white space on the main part of the scheduler. There is the event menu that appears when you right-click on an event. And finally, there is the cell context menu, which appears when you right-click on one of the resources on the left-hand side. So, how can we customize these menus? Well, the simplest thing you could do is turn them all off. Where you new up the scheduler instance, you can provide the features option and then target any one of these menus by name, setting the value to false. This of course works for all 4 of the menus. Over in the browser now, when I right-click on the time axis header, we get the default browser context menu. Same for the white space on the scheduler, the events, and the resources. Cool. So we've successfully disabled all the context menus. Not only can we disable them though, we could also add, remove, or customize the items within each of the menus by providing an object as the value instead of a boolean. If we wanted to remove just a single item from the context menu, we could target the item's property and then the name of the item that we want to disable, we'd set to false. Awesome. Before there was an edit event option in this menu, but now it's gone. If you want to know what all menu items are available for you to turn off or customize, you can check out our documentation under Guides, Customization, and Customize Context Menu Items. Here you've got a listing of all the different menu items that are available for the event menu, the scheduler menu, and the time axis header menu. Besides disabling a menu item altogether, you could also customize the default items to your needs. Each of the items has several different properties that you can customize, and you can view all the available properties on this API documentation page here. It's found under API Docs, Core, Widget, and then Menu Item. Let's try customizing the date range item in the time axis header menu. Let's change the label of the date range to start end instead of date range. We'll give it a weight of 190, which is going to move its position in the menu. And finally, we'll provide it some custom styling. How about let's give it a background of blue? Why not? Over in the browser now, sure enough, we have a start end item in our context menu. The background is blue, and it has moved from its original position at the bottom of the menu to just in the middle. Cool. You could also add new items to any context menu. For instance, let's add a new item to the event menu to easily move that event forward by an hour. Under the items property, I'll just create a menu item that doesn't already exist called Move Forward. We'll customize its icon to be a caret. I'll set the label on the menu item with the text property. It will say Move 1 hour ahead. We'll give it a class of bSeparator, which adds a visual line above the item. Give it a weight of 400, which is going to put it at the very bottom of the menu. And then finally, and perhaps most importantly, we need to provide an onItem callback method. With the onItem callback, you can respond to the click event of the item. Here we have access to the event record. If the event record exists, then we should shift it forward by an hour. It looks like I'm missing my arrow here, and TypeScript isn't happy about the shift. So let's just add in a TS ignore here. Back in the browser, when I right-click on an event, sure enough, there is our new menu item, and clicking on it moves the event forward an hour. While customizing these context menus like this with static options is great, there are a lot of times where we want to dynamically customize the menus at runtime. Well, we can do that with the process items function. Let's pretend we've got some permissions in place, allowing only some people to edit and delete events. Well, first I'll create a variable called access granted, and we'll initialize it to true. Then on the event menu, I'll define the process items function, which has access to that context menu's items, and then say if access has not been granted, then we'll remove the edit event and delete event items. Lastly, outside of the scheduler instance, I'll just create a new button with JavaScript that allows us to quickly toggle the value of access granted. In order for this new button class here to work, we'll need to import it from Bryntum Scheduler. Back in the browser, when I right-click on an event now, you see that it does have the edit event and delete event options in the context menu. However, if I toggle access and then right-click on an event again, those two menu items are gone. So there you have it. There are absolutely a ton of different ways that you can customize the context menu for the Bryntum Scheduler. In fact, if all of these robust options don't fit your needs completely, you can even wholly replace these context menus with your own implementation. That is beyond the scope of this video, but you can get a written walkthrough in our documentation. That's found under the Guides section, Customization, and Replace Context Menus. With the information that I've shared in this video, you now have the full power to customize the context menus in your own applications.